Everybody at 7 o'clock. Glad to see everybody on time. That's supposed to be funny, but
It was.
anyway, don't put that in the minutes. Okay, let's move along. We got a couple items to do tonight and a few things, and we should move along very quickly as possible. We have got a number of minutes to approve. If you looked at the agenda, there are several, including one massive package from the 5th of February, which you've had a few days to read. Let's approve these collectively if it's okay with everybody. Does Chair hear a motion to approve the minutes A through H as presented by the clerk, or are there amendments?
May I move no corrections or amendments are made presented for the minutes? I move that we accept them as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve all the minutes as presented. Is there any discussion?
I have a discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
When I'm presented with that many minutes on Friday of the July 4th weekend, I have not had a chance to read all the minutes. So if I haven't read them, I don't feel like I can approve them.
Okay. Okay.
Has everyone read the minutes?
Not verbatim, we have not. I mean,
Yeah.
I have not. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
I have scanned through them, but I have not read them word for word, page for page. No, I have not.
Yeah.
Nor did I intend to.
I scan the pages as I normally do. I do not always look for punctuations and things of that nature. I look for the meat of it, and I have read it that way. Now, reading it line, no ma'am, I have not.
I would just like more time to be able to read them so that I could honestly say that I approve of the minutes.
Okay. There is in our regulation concerning the state law concerning minutes, if a mistake is found in minutes after they are approved, they can go back and be amended. So if you want to go with that, we're safe on that. Is there further discussion?
Sir.
Okay, there being none, all in favor of approving the minutes as they've been presented, indicate so by saying yes.
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 No.
Opposed, no. Okay, they are carried by majority. They have no citizen comments tonight. Items for consideration. First item is consider a zoning request of Z 2016-04 to rezone a portion of property at 402 Barn Street. And I think one of our members has some interest in that and has requested to recuse himself. Mr. Taylor?
Thank you, John.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, would you let it be known that one member has recused himself on this issue for reasons of personal involvement, and we still have a quorum left? Okay, the request is to rezone a portion of property located at 402 Barn Street from R10 to B1. This parcel is identified by Nash County Tax Parcel Number 380118402285. Does the chair hear a motion to approve this consideration? It has gone through the planning board. We had a public hearing on it last week, and there's no concerns with it.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. We approve the consideration to rezone the property. Is there any discussion? Okay. There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Accordingly, it is done. You'll notify the property owners, Mr. Manager.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item B is a consideration. Is it Charles, you back? Okay. Madam Clerk, let it be known that Councilman Taylor has returned. As a consideration of special use 2016-0307, request for special use permits to construct two family dwellings or townhouses at 309 Aubrey Court and 306 Aubrey Court, 203 Village Lane and 204 Village Lane. This went through our public hearing last Wednesday night, and the planning board has met on it and approved unanimously that we approve it. There was no opposition to it at the public hearing. Does the chair hear a motion we approve this consideration?
So made.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve consideration. Is there any discussion? There being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay, it is done. Okay, item number 3 is a discussion and consideration of an ordinance amending the text of the Town of Nashville Code of Ordinances, Chapter 36, Traffic and Vehicles Parking. If you'll notice in your package that you received over under one of the last tabs here, under the yellow tab, you'll see that we have a request from the Sheriff's Department to swap a couple of parking spots for him. And we have with us tonight a representative from the Sheriff's Department. We're happy to have you with us. You're Mr. Medina?
Yes, sir.
Of course, you're the Chief Deputy. Thank you for being with us. This request was penned by Mr. Medina, and he is with us. And what they're asking for is for the Sheriff's Department wishes to swap a parking space for us from the on Drake Street at the entrance to their sheriff's office to make a permanent place there for the sheriff for space over in the parking lot. So his request is such that, let's do this one first, is that they respectfully request the town council to grant a request to reactivate a former parking sign location on Drake Street and erect a parking sign that reads sheriff's parking only as shown in figure 2, which you've got on your stuff there. This request will allow the Nashville County Sheriff Keith Stone to have immediate access to the sheriff's office entrance on Drake Street during all times of the day as well as inclement weather, and the sheriff's office will relinquish a parking spot in the Drake Street court parking lot to allow for public use during business hours as shown in figure 3. Okay, the place they want to give us is on the slope in the middle part of the lot on the west side of the courthouse, which you can see is now reserved for the Sheriff's Department. I guess if we approve this, the sheriff will pull up the sign and it'll be general parking. Okay, and in lieu of that, in that, if you look on the bottom of the page on the left of the photograph, you'll see on Drake Street there at the entrance to the jail, they want to make a permanent parking place there reserved for the sheriff. Now the rest of the street is 2-hour parking, except for right on the end is a loading zone for trucks. Okay, that's item number 1. Item number 2 deals with the clerk, and let's handle these one item at a time because the clerk's issue brings up another question. All in favor of the consideration to grant the sheriff the parking spot at the jail that he's asking? Do we hear a motion on this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We give the sheriff his place, and he will give us a place in the parking lot. Okay, is there any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
didn't we previously, maybe a year ago, designate about 12 spots or 6 or 7 spots from up there where Miss Joyner wants to start her parking down on the west side of the parking lot, but on the left side of the street all the way down? Didn't we designate that about a year ago for sheriff's parking only?
No, it's been
Did
no, it's been general parking all the time. The only thing we did for the sheriff was gave him that place right in front of the courthouse where he wanted to leave a sheriff's car out there all day,
Yeah.
and that's right at the front of the place, and they're still using that. And no, but it's general parking for 2 hours on the side of the courthouse you were talking about. And the space we removed because it has parking for 160 feet from Elm Street south.
Okay, all right.
That's what our ordinances say.
I thought we changed that.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. Other discussion? Okay. All in favor of the request indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, half of that is done. Okay, the second part deals with the request also from Chief Medina. Is respectfully request the Nashville Town Council to consider and grant a request to reclassify a current town parking street sign on Drake Street from a time limit of 2 hours to a sign that reads Clerk of Court parking only as shown in figure 1. This request will allow the current Clerk of Court, the Honorable Rachel Joyner, to have immediate access to the clerk's office entrance to Drake Street during all times of the day for safety purposes as well as inclement weather. And if you look at the sign, the photograph on the next page, you'll see where Rachel wants to park. We'd pull up the sign and put for clerk only there, and they would go through the doors. Now the photograph we've been given is an old photograph because they're now glass doors instead of wood or whatever this old moldy stuff is. Now my question is, the Honorable Clerk now has a parking space in the lot about 70 feet from this. Will she surrender that also? Would you come to the podium so we can get this on the record, please? Will you state your name and address and speak directly into the mic, please?
Good evening. Brandon Medina with Nash County Sheriff's Office, 120 West Washington Street.
Thank you.
We did speak about playing musical chairs with the signs. If currently right now she has the first parking spot in the parking lot. So if we
Correct.
were to remove that one, we would try to move all the parking spots over so it would open to the public the last parking spot. Right now, I think it's 2-hour parking at the last one.
Right,
It would
right.
have an additional 2-hour parking
Okay.
location there.
Okay, well, that was my question. The sheriff was playing fair. He was going to take one and give us one,
Yes, sir.
and the clerk was asking for one with no indication of returning one.
Yes, sir.
But you just move the signs down, we'll get
Yes,
our
sir.
extra space.
Yes, sir.
Then no problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that'll be good. Okay, now we know. Okay, thank you very much. Does the chair hear a motion we approve this consideration as has
So
been
made.
amended? It's
Second.
been moved and seconded, we approve this. Any discussion? Okay, there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, it is all done. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you.
And you're welcome to stay as long as you want to. Hope we're not here long. Now that requires an ordinance. I lost my finger place here. That requires an ordinance that we have to approve. Let me read this because all ordinances have to be read in their entirety. And this will affect what we have just done. An ordinance amending the text of the Town of Nashville Code of Ordinances, Chapter 36, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 4, Parking. Whereas the Nash County Courthouse is located in downtown Nashville and provides space for the Nash County Sheriff and the Nash County Clerk of Court. And whereas security for said facility is provided by the Nash County Sheriff and daily operation of the local judicial system is administered by the Nash County Clerk of Court. And whereas the Nashville Town Council desires to assist Sheriff Keith Stone and the Clerk of Court, the Honorable Rachel Joyner's request for 2 reserved parking spaces for their respective positions on Drake Street. And now therefore be it ordained by the Town Council of the Town of Nashville that the Town of Nashville Code of Ordinances be amended to reflect the following changes. Chapter 36, Parking, Article 4, Parking prohibited on certain streets at certain times, Section 36-122, B5, 7, and 8. By deleting Drake Street from 160 feet from Elm Street southward to within 105 feet of Washington Street, by adding reserved parking for Nash County Sheriff, single parking space immediately adjacent to Drake Street entrance to the Nash County Courthouse, and 8, reserved park for the Nash County Clerk of Court, single parking space immediately adjacent to Drake Street entrance to Nash County Courthouse, by amending Drake Street from 160 feet from Elm Street southward to within 105 feet of Washington Street, east side only, excluding reserved parking for the Sheriff and Clerk of Court. And that'll be adopted this day with appropriate signatures and attestations if it is approved. And that will solve all the problems that we have to have. And I understand also in reading the fine print and some regulations that the Sheriff's Department is going to pay for the additional signs. Am I correct with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does the chair motion to approve the ordinance as amended?
So made.
Second.
Question.
It's been moved and seconded that the ordinance be approved. Is there discussion?
Okay, he just said that they were responsible for the cost of any new signs they may get, but they're also
Right.
responsible for making all the moving of the signs. Is that correct?
We'll assume that cost.
You'll assume that, all right, thank you.
Okay,
No
okay.
cost to us.
So all we had to do was change the paper. You'll take care of the physical things. Okay. All right, very good. Other comments? All in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, it is done. Mr. Planner, you'll notify the sheriff's office that's been approved.
Yes, sir.
So the paper chase will be complete. Okay, the next item we have to do is a resolution that's been requested by Senator Newton concerning the money we're requesting for our sidewalk. And we need to read the resolution into the minutes and get it officially approved so we can send it forward. And the resolution reads, whereas the town of Nashville is committed to all aspects of public safety, and whereas the town of Nashville is committed to encouragement and ease of safe pedestrian traffic, and whereas the route along West Washington Street from the intersection at Barnes Street to Stony Creek is a heavily traveled commercial corridor, and whereas the town of Nashville Bike and Pedestrian Plan calls for citizens' request to have been made to the town council for a sidewalk along this route. Excuse me. And whereas an estimated $17,200 will be necessary for construction of this additional sidewalk project, and now therefore be it ordained on behalf of the mayor and town council that through this resolution, the town of Nashville Town Council does hereby request its members of the General Assembly that represent the corporate limits of the town of Nashville to allocate this additional $17,200 from their discretionary funding. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the permanent records of the town of Nashville, adopted this 5th day of July 2016 with appropriate signatures and attestations. Does the chair hear a motion to approve the resolution?
So made.
It's been moved and
Second.
seconded that we approve the resolution. Is there any discussion? Okay, there being none, all in favor indicate so by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Okay, you will notify the, do you need this?
I have it.
You need that. Okay, but you got a copy. Okay. All right. Now, the last item of business we had has to deal with, a motion that was made at the last meeting concerning the way we process minutes. Mr. Coleman brought this forward, and he's on vacation tonight with his kids up in Tweetsie Railroad, and I was talking to him this afternoon. They're having a great time. Not raining up there. And the question was how we're going to handle minutes. Now, we've been doing minutes verbatim, which has been labor intensive since back in March. And we asked our clerk to send us some recommendations on how this stuff should come together. Meanwhile, we received an article written by a gentleman over at the School of Government, A. Fleming Bell II, which put together a very interesting article on how to process minutes. The article's got two parts to it. One, prosecution of minutes, the second, the preservation of records. And the record preservation section is really worth reading. But the first part of it tells us two things. We can keep minutes full and accurate by verbatim, or we can keep them by generalizing things. Our clerk has recommended that we follow the second pattern of minute production, as verbatim minutes are hard to handle, also costly because the minute books fill up pretty quickly. There are some things, however, that has to be done verbatim in accurate things, like the name of our meeting, the date and place of meeting, the name of the board members present, the exact statement of all motions, a statement as to whether each motion is passed or failed, and if anybody had been excused from voting because of General Statute 16875, and the exact words of each ordinance, order, or resolution introduced for action, whether or not the vote was taken at the meeting where it was introduced. Now, that was what we just did with the resolution on the money, so that's got to go in its exactitude. And then a precise description of each document incorporated by reference into the minutes, together with language indicating an intent to incorporate it by reference, and the exact words of each amendment to any motion, order, resolution, or whatever, and then a statement that the meeting was adjourned, which is a pretty thorough way of the business of the meetings. The actual social activity of the meeting, the discussion back and forth, consumes a lot of time. And she has recommended, following Mr. Coleman's motion, that we go back to our general statements of paraphrasing the minutes or whatever that process is called. And the floor is now open for discussion on which way we would want to go with it.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
at the present time, I'd like to make a motion that we follow, according to North Carolina Association of Municipal Clerks Manual. They state in there that you can have action only, summary, or verbatim. Summary states that it contains a summary of discussion without attributing comments to particular people. Summary minutes also state the actual decision made.
Right.
I think that if we were to follow this, we would probably clear up, this would be sufficient to take care of the issues we had,
So,
and it would clear it up.
okay, the motion has been made to follow the process recommended by the State Association of Municipal Clerks, which is sort of standard across the state. Is there a second to that motion?
There is a second.
And a second has been made. Is there discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'm just trying to think that, as Ms. Hinton attributed early on in conversation, it's very hard when you get
Right.
this many minutes for one meeting because you're going verbatim, because every time you say and or if, it's got to be in there.
Right.
And we all know that the summary is what That's the meat and
Right.
potatoes of the whole thing. And so I really feel like this is the proper way to do it.
Right. Okay. Further discussion? Okay. There have been none. All in favor of approving the motions approved by, as recommended by Mr. Coleman with the follow-up by the recommendation of the clerk and following up on Mr. Taylor's recommendation, we follow the method of the North Carolina municipal clerks. Will indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no.
No.
And it seems to go by majority. Okay, thank you. So we're back to generalizing. Okay, very good. All righty, now we're down to manager's report. Mr. Manager, and don't forget to think about taking down the building in Body Street, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Starting with the
That meat and
Town Clerk and Human Resources Office, I'd like to note that our clerk has attended the Retirement Planning Seminar and Benefits Coordinators Meeting at Nash Community College on November 13th, and assisted the Parks and Recreation Department in creating football and soccer flyers. And a special thank you to Ms. Bunch for putting together 8 sets of council minutes and preparing agenda packets for 6 council meetings over the past month. It was quite an endeavor. In our library, the therapy dog program has had spectacular response and very good attendance. And we're looking forward to several programs this month, including Interviewing Skills 101, an AARP representative speaking on fraud and identity theft protection, and several summer reading special events. The Harold D. Cooley Library has posted a Facebook page so community members are advised of and may interact with activities at the library. Since our new library director has come on board, there's been a new library advisory board meeting. There's a Father's Day craft activity that took place with 4 children participating. The staff is about 20% of the way complete and recataloging their books with the Dewey Decimal System, and have started relabeling books to their proper new shelves. I'd like to thank Stocks Engineering for coming by our Public Works facility last week and putting on a special event they called Beat the Heat Break, where they brought snow cones and refreshments from Webby's just to do something nice for our Public Works and Utilities staff. In regards to our police department, myself and Police Chief Bashore attended a radio interview in Clinton, North Carolina, titled We Should Know, promoting our Hope Initiative program. Our police department were present at the field day for Nashville Elementary School. Our police officers have thoroughly gone through training for naloxone, and all of our police officers are now carrying naloxone doses if they respond to an overdose call. Presentations on the initiative during the past month included with Nash County Department of Social Services, UNC Nash General Hospital, Coastal Plain Hospital, and the Park Avenue Community Watch meeting. On July the 4th, Nashville Police Department supported the Nash County Sheriff's Office fireworks program in Castelia. Tomorrow, our police chief is going up to Washington, D.C. and to discuss our HOPE initiative, to meet with 2 organizations called PERI, which is the Police Assisted Addiction and Recovery Initiative, and the Office of National Drug Control Policy. He'll be heading to the Eisenhower building to meet with these groups. And on July the 27th, the police chief and I are scheduled to speak on the HOPE initiative to a criminal justice class at Campbell University. In our planning department, the sidewalk project, we'd like to report, is now 50% complete. All utilities have been moved, and we are awaiting due power to remove the pole by Walgreens. Zaxby's has begun construction this month and anticipates an early fall opening.
Early fall.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. And then finally, in regard to our Public Works Department, we had a demonstration today on our new asphalt recycler and infrared machine. And I'd like to thank the mayor and Mr. Charles Taylor for being able to come out and see that piece of equipment in action. This was something we had a work session on a few months ago and made the decision to go ahead and buy these pieces of equipment out of fund balance.
What time was that demonstration? I didn't know about it.
It was,
Well, it wasn't when they originally planned.
Right.
It was kind of back and forth, back and forth. It actually didn't start till probably 1:30, I guess. And it was extremely hot.
It was
Next time, call me, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. The benefits of this piece of equipment, I'd like to highlight is that we will now be able to use it in the wintertime. Where currently we're not able to do patching work during the wintertime because of the weather. These two pieces of machinery can work 12 months out of the year. This will allow us to stop buying asphalt, which last time that was purchased was at $85 a ton. The cost of operation per ton we anticipate is about $20 per ton, at a tremendous savings to the taxpayer. This will allow us to permanently stop buying coal patch, which is approximately $20 for a 50-pound bag, which is typically what we've had to use in the wintertime. The operation of this equipment requires 3 to 4 people. And we talked to the representative, Peter, from Public Works Equipment and Supply. In his discussion, there's about 12 municipalities in the state who have agreed to purchase the equipment that we have purchased, but we're just the second one behind Albemarle to actually put this equipment into operation in the state. So we're quite ahead on the cutting edge of operations in this. It's quite exciting. Thank you, Mayor.
What about Body Street? You mentioned the county want to close it. You want to hold that for later? Okay. Okay. All right, we're down to council comments. Who wants to go first? Mr. Taylor?
Since we don't start from the middle, I guess I'll start.
I'll start in the middle next time.
Okay, let's start in the middle next time.
Okay.
I would like to commend the Public Works Department and the staff that we've got over there, even though they're not here, but relay that message because we are on the cutting edge with this new equipment that we just acquired last week. And before I could get almost back into town this afternoon, I ran across one of our Public Works people, and his words were, "That's one awesome piece of equipment." So I think it's gonna save us some money and work well with the employees that we've got here in town. Another thing too, tonight, if the audience noticed that we had an item on the agenda that we all didn't agree on. Votes went 2-3. But that's an example of having your own ideas and not always agreeing with everybody. But yet and still we did pass and we're moving forward with what we wanted to do. It doesn't always go your way all the time, but I'm proud to be on this council because we've always, since I've been up here, been able to, even though we had differences, is to work together and move forward to the betterment of this town. And last but not least, our next council meeting is August the 2nd, and as it stands right now, I have not made a final decision, but I'm planning on going to Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'd like to leave on August the 2nd rather than August the 3rd so I can get there a day early.
Mm-hmm.
So I may not be here at the next council meeting, but I have not made that final decision.
Okay, just keep us advised.
I'll keep you advised.
Okay, thank you.
That's all, Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Turner?
Mayor, I'd just like to say that I did get a chance to spend some time with Peter, with the people today, demoing the equipment. And it's amazing that we have scrap asphalt in big chunks that we're able now to put in this machine, the recycle machine, and break it down into the same type of asphalt we pick up from the asphalt plant. And it's just exciting to see if we have a machine that will do that, and we can use it right then. We don't have to wait. The next thing is the infrared machine, which is absolutely amazing in itself because this is just a big flat piece of machinery when you look at it, but it heats up the asphalt on the ground to a soft method of where the guys can take a rake and break it up and reuse that asphalt right there by adding some more of the recycled asphalt to it, and then take a lot of you probably won't know what I'm talking about. It's called a tamper machine. It's a big flat piece, and it's slapping like that, and it will just, it's just amazing because I watched this all the years using coal patch, which is nothing really. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's about what it was. So, and our guys were really excited. 2 or 3 of them working on it today. But everybody was real excited. And I'm glad to see us going forward.
I
Thank you,
certainly
thank
would
you.
like to have seen that.
Ms. Denton, your comments?
I wonder why someone didn't pick up the phone and say, we were having that demonstration at 1:30.
Well, that wasn't something that we scheduled for a public presentation. Mr. Taylor was around this morning, and the mayor called me when he was eating lunch and asked to come by. So it wasn't.
The situation worked out for me. I went to the doctor this morning. I left word for Hank to call me. I want to talk to him about the meeting. So, so we hook up while I'm eating lunch. He said, well, this thing's going on. Rush over there. I got there just at the end of it, and it was very, very hot. But Mr. Taylor's right. It's an amazing thing. They were taking some of the grossest looking chunks of asphalt and turning it into new stuff through that. It looks like a big cement mixer. And then they throw heat to it and grind it up and put it out and put it down to this new stuff. And before they put the stuff down on the cement to hot patch it, they got some kind of glue they put down. And the glue's in 5-gallon buckets, and they were using brooms to mop it down. And the stuff must be caustic or something because it had consumed all the tassels on the broom. I mean, it was just vicious looking stuff. But anyway, they patched it down to smooth out very nice. There's a lot of money we spent for it, but I think in the long run with what we've been paying for asphalt when we could even get it, because we bought asphalt in such small amounts, we had to catch somebody running a big run of asphalt so we could get a little bit off the end of it. But in this situation, there's enough broken up scrap asphalt around that we'll probably never have to buy any more. Yes.
May I suggest, since only you and Mr. Taylor saw it, I came by the shop Friday and I didn't see it working, but I went out there and looked it over and they showed me what it would do, and we did everything except actually
Turn it on.
throwing asphalt in it.
Right.
So may I offer this suggestion? Because they told me last Friday that today would be the day that the person we bought it from would come by
Right.
and show them how to use the machine. Since they've already had that now, maybe at some later date,
To set up a
then we could set
demonstration.
up another demonstration where we all could come, well, Miss Hinton and myself, if I'm available, could come
Well,
back
that was
and actually.
available today.
Well, I mean,
If somebody just picked up the phone and called
Yeah,
me.
but that's done, but we could, down the road, let's set up another appointment so we can all see it.
Because I tell you, we've got enough holes in town.
Oh, yeah, we can
and
find some place to work.
wrinkles in the pavement, probably keep the machine busy for 6 months nonstop. But anyway, that'd be a good idea, is just have a public session.
Be glad to.
And just get the word out, maybe get Amanda there to take some pictures so folks can see what we're up to. But it really, and I just made the observation while I was out there, this thing runs heat into hundreds and hundreds of degrees, and we were out there in a near 100-degree day demonstrating it. Yesterday we could probably save 30 degrees, but it was really a brutally hot day.
Now, this is a machine that cost us $79,000.
That's right.
Yeah, the asphalt, that's the recycler,
Recycle.
and
We
the
bought the infrared.
and the infrared machine was somewhat less. It was somewhat less. Two pieces of equipment. Okay, other comments?
Yes, I have a concern about the July 8th deadline for the demolition of the property on Body Street. And there is no known time for it, no deadline?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, when are they gonna get on it?
I may defer to Mr. Hassel.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I talked to Derek Hawks today, and they do not have a firm timeline. It was supposed to be done by July 8th, but their contractor is currently behind. But they're very much ready to get this project off of their books as well. So they promised me to give me a timeline as soon as they know one, and I will make sure that I pass that on to you guys when I know.
But my understanding is they want to close Body Street next Friday.
I understand the proposal to close it's coming Friday.
Do we want to close Body Street before we get this demolition thing done?
I wouldn't recommend that. Also, there's some other strings on Body Street too, as you know, from the rerouting of the traffic around there, which has not been satisfactorily addressed.
I'd like to hear something more definitive.
Yeah.
This is often fuzzy.
I think we need to hear.
Also, we had a Recreation Advisory Board meeting on Tuesday. night?
Yeah.
Nobody came?
Yeah.
0?
Yeah, that's normal.
We need to rethink our advisory board.
Yeah. Also, in the prosecution of the minutes we discussed a while ago, the many advisory boards we have in town with the library and other things, they also are supposed to keep full and accurate records, which goes into the archives of the town. And I'm not sure whether all the committees are keeping those records. The committees I have been on do those things. I don't know how far they get distributed, but
There's a member of our council who's on that advisory board.
with the,
There really is, and if you'd like to hear, our library record didn't have anything to even start out with because all the paperwork from the previous administration has disappeared.
for real. I haven't
I'm
heard that.
afraid so. She was not able to find anything pertaining to any previous meeting
For the library advisory.
for the library
For the
advisory
library
board.
advisory board.
So the only thing I can figure is someone took them.
Had to go somewhere.
Were they keeping minutes?
Yes, we kept minutes because I went to the meetings.
Who wrote them down? So let's go
I
to
can't
whomever
remember.
it is, let's go to the source and find out where it is.
Well, they were left at the library, so
Oh.
I'm assuming that, and no, I'm not gonna assume, that's not a good word.
Well, they are public records, and if
Yes,
public
they-
records have been taken, then somebody's culpable for something.
That's right.
So we'll have to look into that. That might be something you want to investigate. Thank you. Okay, other comments, questions, observations? Yes.
We'd be more than happy to schedule a public demonstration of the asphalt recycler and the infrared. Today was not intended as a big demonstration for people, and that was the opportunity for our employees to actually learn how to use it. They've never used it before. We got it last week, but have not touched it because we wanted the actual vendor to come out and show us how to use the piece of equipment to be safe. So on another day, we'd be more than happy to schedule an actual public demonstration to show how that works.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Tomorrow, between 1 and 1:30, if any of council's available, we're gonna have a demonstration from the same company and the same guy, showing us a sewer camera that I've discussed with some of you, or I believe everyone on the council,
Where's that gonna be?
at the Public Works Building.
Between 1 and 1:30?
They were planning on starting between 1 and 1:30.
Okay.
I think if you would, when you do try to schedule the public demonstration for the other equipment, if you could probably put it on a Thursday or Friday, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
When do we start our slurry projects?
We have the bids in hand, and so all we have now to do is we have to get this piece of equipment, get out there in front of it, but we have to finish before August the 12th, because that's when school comes back the following week. So between now and August the 12th would be when we're going to do it, and the representative from that company needs 3 full days. So when he knows his timeline and he knows when our timeline that we can meet is, I have a very firm date for you on that one, what week it will be. But I would say early August at the earliest.
And the first project is
The 2-mile section that we showed you earlier this year.
Green Street.
Yep.
Council, I'd also like to make a recommendation that our agenda meeting for July, which is scheduled for July the 27th, I'm requesting that be moved to the 28th on Thursday. It conflicts with a speaking obligation that Tom and I have been asked to be at, and Mr. Hassel will avoid him having to travel back and forth between Chapel Hill.
Okay. Well, we could probably do that. I don't think that our ordinances speak to that, because the ordinances tell us that the agenda meeting will be on Wednesday before the first Tuesday of the month.
Right.
And it speaks to regular meetings. If we have to cancel one because of a holiday, we meet the following evening. But there is no latitude for moving the agenda meeting in the text. The only way we could probably get around that is have no business, or just do it. It's whatever your pleasure is.
I have no problem with
Well, Mayor, when we don't have
Do we-
when we don't have any business, we don't have a meeting, So what would it hurt if we did it the following night?
Well, that wouldn't be any problem. I don't think the world would stop. But there is the technicality there. Do we have business for that night?
At this moment, we don't, but we're anticipating.
Anticipating so. Okay, well, I have no problem moving it then. We'll just go ahead and date it for Thursday night. Make sure the press gets notification of it. Is that okay with everybody? Okay.
We've never done this before.
Well, we've never had an agenda meeting have to move before, to my knowledge. We've had some problems with the regular meetings on holidays.
Is this in reference to the HOPE initiative?
It is. Police chief and I have been asked to speak at a class at Campbell University on the HOPE initiative.
Okay, good for you. And that will be the last Thursday in the month.
Yeah, if we moved it, it would be the 28th.
I might be gone that night. I think I'm going to Vancouver. Because I was going to leave on Thursday.
Well, couldn't, Mayor Pro Tem?
Oh, yeah, we
could,
can, we can make it happen.
Could handle business.
Oh, we can
that.
make it happen.
I think we'll be all right.
Like Frank Wright's famous line is, "One horn does not stop a parade."
No.
Okay,
So we're moving to the 28th?
yeah, move to the next night. Okay. All right, all that have been said and done. Is Chair, motion we adjourn?
So made.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded we adjourn. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor, indicate so by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Thank you for coming.